Hey everyone, Regal Views here. It is White Rice Wednesday, and it's time for my Survivor recap. So, tonight's is going to be a little different. Wow. This has probably been my favorite episode of Survivor in how long. So, last week was an interesting situation how Jamal and Jack had the conversation about racism. This episode deals with, I guess, what's the girls have been dealing with all throughout Survivor and what Angelina specifically brought to everyone's attention 2 seasons ago. The fact that it's a sexist game out there. Like, you hardly ever see any women go to the end. It's always the guys. They always want to vote out the women. And why? Usually, early on, it's because one is weak in the challenges. But sometimes when they're weak in the challenges and they can't contribute, then yeah, by all means, vote them out. But it seems like sometimes they have no reason, like, oh, they're part of a power couple. We got to get them out. Why don't you think to get the male out? They always go for the female when there's a quote unquote power couple alliance. They almost never go for the guy first. I mean, eventually, yeah, the guy will be voted out. But they always seem to target the girl first. And why? It just makes no sense to me. Like, are they that intimidated by a girl? Like, and they seem very intimidated by an all-girls alliance, and I'll talk more about that later. For Island of the Idols, Janet had to go to Island of the Idols, and it was very cute to see how starstruck she is. Like, she's probably been watching Survivor just as long as we have, but the fact that she can fangirl over Boston Rob and Sandra, it's cute. So, her lesson was basically about taking risks. And what her challenge was that it was basically a game of risk. She had, I guess, from what it looked like, there was 2 yellow pieces and 1 red, so I guess the red would mean she won. I don't know how the whole game was going to go about, but she did get a very interesting advantage that, correct me if I'm wrong, I've never heard of before. If she had won, she would have gotten a safety advantage, which meant if she felt uncomfortable going into tribal council, she heard her name brought up, or if she didn't feel like she was safe at going to tribal, she didn't have to go to tribal. So she would be safe no matter what. So she'd go back to camp then. And I gotta give Janet credit. She, unlike all the other people who have come to Island of the Idols, she thought this out and calculated it. Because on one hand, that's a pretty good advantage. But on the other hand, anybody who's gone to Island of the Idols has a target on their back. And not only will Janet have a target on her back because she went to the island, but she'll have a bigger target on her back just leaving tribal. Because then, who's to say she's not going to be the one to go home next time? So Janet actually chose not to do the challenge, and she's the only one that hasn't got the bait, as Rob would put it. But she didn't get an advantage, though. Like, she made the right decision. I mean, I get it. She didn't actually play the game or the lesson, but she chose the right thing. So shouldn't she have gotten something out of it? Maybe not that exact advantage. Maybe she could have gotten a clue to an idol or something. I don't know. The immunity challenge was actually, it was close. Literally down to seconds, but Vokai won. And a note to anybody who is auditioning for Survivor or wants to go out for Survivor, good luck to you if you are on an orange team. Just freaking wow. Anytime orange, even when you go to, you see it when they go to make fire. They, whenever they go to orange, they lose. So I think the orange color is cursed. I think this is a new Survivor curse. The color orange is a curse. So, Kelly actually brought up something very interesting. She won an idol on Island of the Idols. But that idol is only good for 3 tribal councils, and she's already been to 2. So tonight's the last night she can use that particular idol. And she's in a pretty good spot right now. So she doesn't want the idol to go to waste. And I'm like, oh my god, she's going to have something going here. She's very close with Dean, and Dean's name's been coming up all throughout, the game and everything. So Dean is the obvious vote tonight. I gotta give Krishma credit, though. She's probably one of the worst players I've seen in a while. But she made it to the merge, so I gotta give the girl credit. So Kelly comes up with the idea to give Dean her idol. But can she trust Dean to use it? She talks with Dean and wants to manipulate him to vote for who she wants to get off. And so Nora feels comfortable with it because I believe she made it seem like at first that to tell Dean to vote for Nora, but so Nora felt safe. I don't even remember what she went to Nora for, but all I could think of was it was brilliant. So please comment down below what she said to Nora. So when they go to tribal, it's very intense because they brought up sexism on Survivor. Kelly brought up the fact that people are always scared of an all-girls alliance, and that's sexist. And it's sexist because they don't think of them as human beings. Like, they don't want to, work with them or anything. They're not basing it off the fact that they're not good in the challenge or they're bossy or crazy, whatever. They're basing that vote off solely because they're women. And Janet also had a very powerful speech saying basically the same thing. Like, she's had more experience than anyone out there. But she said, they've got to treat everybody like equal. Like, women have done some powerful things, but men have help because they see them as equals and they help them by seeing them as people and treating them like they would anybody else. So, yeah, I definitely see this season. I really see a girl winning this season. I hope to God that is. This is what it looks like it's foreshadowing. But the blind side of the night is that Jack got voted off, and I did not see that one coming. Dean actually did play his idol, and I gotta give Kelly major props because she wins the Best Actress award for that fake reaction. And Jamal, what I didn't understand is that as close as Jamal and Jack were, he plays his idol for Nora. Like, I don't get that move at all. I can maybe understand him playing it for himself, for him maybe feeling like he's gonna go home. But he didn't play for Jack, his closest ally out there. The only thing I could think of is maybe he played it for Nora so they wouldn't think he's sexist. I don't know. But, yeah, I am so royally screwed with my Survivor drafts this season. Some people, I didn't pick on my own. It's the luck of the draw. But in one of my drafts, I have one person left. So, and I didn't choose him. He was the last person. I got him by default. So, I don't see him going far. So, I'm not doing well this season. But, yeah, next week's the merge, and it looks like, it's every man for himself, and everyone's going to turn on each other. So, yeah, it should be interesting. I'm very curious to see who's going to win the first immunity challenge. It's literally anyone's game. So, I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's Survivor. If you want to catch Survivor, it is on Wednesdays, 8 p.m. on CBS. Until next time, stay regal.